What's on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering with some bad news for Carmelo Anthony and his Bizarro World Defenders. Each like on this video will equal 1 extra volt getting pumped through the chair potentially. So you know, we'll see how many volts we can get charged up for his hopefully impending guilty verdict. There's actually been a couple updates, and this case is now just 83 days from, Austin Metcalf is 83 days away from getting justice. This country, there are many, many trials this summer that I think are really important. Obviously, Carmelo Anthony, we have Tyler Robinson, we have Luigi Mangione, and many more. And the transparency is obviously the most important part, but definitely have a little bit of bad news for old Carmelo here. Real quick, before we get into the rest of the story, a super quick word from this video's sponsor, Private Internet Access.
If you aren't using a VPN yet, you're completely missing out, and Private Internet Access is the one I use on all of my devices. If you've been following the news, you see that censorship, websites, apps are getting shut down in certain countries, all sorts of craziness. Well, a VPN helps you never have to worry about that. Private Internet Access also protects you from the prying eyes of hackers, internet service providers, and others that can view your personal data. Perhaps also just as importantly, Private Internet Access allows you to access region-restricted content from all over the world. Streaming services like Netflix, Amazon Prime, and more have different library options based on where you're located, and some shows simply cannot be accessed if you're not in the target location. Happens to me all the time. Many sports events also have regional blackouts. Well, VPNs can be a convenient way to make sure you're getting the content that you're paying for. Private Internet Access also allows you to protect an unlimited amount of devices all at the same time, so your entire household with a single subscription. And I've been working with Private Internet Access so long that I have an absolutely massive discount available to my viewers. Link in the description below. Get Private Internet Access today using my link. Save huge, protect your computers, access all the content that you've been paying for, and ensure that your internet is never censored.
Let's start with this here. There are 84 days. Now it's 83. Until June 1st, 2026. I have made all the necessary preparations to attend and report on the trial of Carmelo Anthony. I cannot wait for it to be over. So much truth will be revealed. I agree with that. Obviously, a lengthy trial is good for business and YouTube, people that cover this stuff. But just like with the Tyler Robinson case, I want the facts laid out. I want them to be irrefutable, and I want life to go on. Now, will I get that? Probably not. But I think at least in the Carmelo case, this is more open and shut, with the real question kind of being how strict of a sentence is he's going to get. I have a strong suspicion he's going to avoid capital punishment here, given his age. But I can't be totally sure. I can't know that for sure. And then she writes, and then I'm going to write. Absolutely no one will intimidate me or stop me. I'm going to write about how deeply involved certain players were regarding this trial. From the family of Carmelo Anthony to the, quote, advocates to their campaigns and petitions in efforts to silence reporters and activists, to abuse the Metcalf family, the abuse the Metcalf family has endured, the involvement of the Black Panthers and activist grifters who wanted a quick buck and their 15 minutes of fame. Now, an involvement from the Black Panthers, I didn't even know they were still a thing. This is all, definitely news to me. This case and trial are being used to attempt to brainwash adults and children alike into thinking that aggressive action is appropriate when feelings are hurt. This generation of children is not good at regulating their feelings or responses and to confrontation, and this is a perfect example of that. I will also be working with Jeff Metcalf, Austin's father, and several others to lobby to make sure sovereign immunity is removed from public schools in Texas. Now, that is big. I cannot wait for the expected guilty verdict so I can freely write about everything I've witnessed on a daily level since that fateful day on April 2nd. So what we're seeing here, obviously, is there is a lot potentially cooking here. What is sovereign immunity in schools? Well, I had to look it up. I'm not going to pretend like I'm an expert. Certainly, I wouldn't be fooling anybody. Sovereign immunity generally shields public schools and school districts from lawsuits as they are considered arms of the state. Well, this protection often bars negligence claims. Exceptions exist for cases involving gross negligence, specific accidents like vehicle-related incidents, or dangerous property conditions. Immunity, however, is not absolute and varies by state. So what I'm guessing is, when we saw this case kind of breaking and we saw all this news coming out, we know that Frisco ISD, we know that they were less than forthcoming. They were very much less than forthcoming when it came to sharing information with law enforcement in terms of any potential previous fights, interactions between Austin Metcalf and Carmelo Anthony. I still am curious. Are we going to see any, like, hey, they had a history? They didn't want to share the emails. There were thousands of emails that were sent between teachers, hundreds or thousands. I know it was at least hundreds, but I think it might have been in the thousands. Sent between people in that school district about Carmelo Anthony. Did Carmelo Anthony have a history of attacks? Some of his peers in school reported that he did. So the school being involved in the cover-up, also the school allowing Carmelo Anthony to graduate, I think was absolutely appalling. Austin Metcalf will never have a chance to graduate. He will never, his family will never see him walk down the aisle. His brother will never get to share that day with him. Why Carmelo Anthony was allowed to, quote, graduate, I don't understand. And so this looks like they want to get the school dragged into this, which I 100% support. By the way, where has all of Carmelo Anthony's support gone, you might wonder? Well, remember Dominique Alexander, this guy that was coming out doing these press conferences?
These are the type of lies. She's getting millions of views on this. Sarah. She's even came after me. She's even said all of those things.
What things?
And now that the public knows exactly what is going on, I asked, because these racist bigots try to prevent us from standing up for our baby, our boy.
This guy, again, bad news for all the grifters. I wonder where, has he even, let's just see, has he tweeted at all lately? He claims he's a minister. Here he is, Minister Dominique Alexander. Let's see, 23 hours ago, Trump derangement syndrome. Oh, look at that. Oh, no, that's not his tweet. Okay. Let's see. Has he actually tweeted anything, or is he just retweeting other people's stuff? I want to see the interactions Dominique gets. By the way, we're back here early March, not seeing anything. Here's one. Minister Dominique, 2 likes. 2 likes since March 6th. If this picture could speak, it would tell the whole story. This is where it began for some people want to ignore. 2 likes. This guy's career has been destroyed. Here's March 1st, a single like. I wonder who this like even was. Was it even him? This guy seems like an own post liker. His career has been completely erased. Leave a like for that. One like equals one spit on his career's grave.
He should be afforded the same rights that Cal Rittenhouse had. Daniel Penna, and all of the
Daniel Penham? Never heard of him. Who's Daniel Penham?
People who have claimed whatever their defense was. He should be afforded the same right. Nobody in the public media has one video camera, but we got the video of Cal Rittenhouse with an AK-47.
It wasn't an AK. Again, this guy grifted hard off the Carmelo Anthony family. I would not be surprised. I don't know if this is just a guess. I have zero evidence of this, just so we're clear. I wonder how much he profited. I wonder how much he profited. Now, beware. I want to tell people, beware some absolutely fake news that is spreading out there. This article from yesterday says that Carmelo Anthony was sentenced. He was not. I saw it flying all over Facebook, which is actually what inspired me to kind of do this update so that I could get everybody on the same page. No, his trial is not until June. And there won't be much of any more updates between now and then, because remember, back in July of last year, the judge issued a gag order, which is exactly what Sarah Fields in this initial post was talking about. Hey, I can't talk about a lot of the stuff that there's going to be some truly messed up details that are coming out in all of this. But nobody can talk about it. Remember, the gag order regarding the incident at Frisco ISD track meet has been issued by Collins County judge. The gag order issued applies to anyone associated with the defense or the prosecution of the case. And I mean, I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this is probably good. And look, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind that Carmelo Anthony is guilty. There are questions that I have about whether or not this was premeditated. I think that would probably change it. Like he brought the knife for a reason. Did he have a beef with Austin Metcalf that we don't know about? Did he, this kind of stuff is what's going to come out in the trial. But we don't, I mean, it seems like very little has been leaked out there. And obviously that's a good thing. The gag order, remember, also extends to family members and those who speak on behalf of the families. So that's everybody. But what we know, according to Sarah Fields' post, is that there's a lot that's going to be coming out when this trial starts. Again, I want to commend Sarah Fields. If you're not following at Sarah is Censored on X, she's really spearheading a lot of this, a lot of the work on this. And so, definitely make sure you follow her because, without her work, you see the video, according to multiple sources of mine, Carmelo's behavior started. Look at this. According to multiple sources of mine, Carmelo's behavior started well before that day. He was allegedly a problem in the community. Even the mall cop knew who he was. I mean, there's also apparently some video. The video must be absolutely horrific. Wouldn't know. The video I saw from Frisco ISD didn't show anything. Will the course be open to the public? Yes, it will be open to the public, but it will not be televised. This is, again, why, I personally believe all of these high-profile cases should be televised because it's hard. You have to rely on the right people getting into the room, the right people, sharing the information. And, I think Sarah Fields will do that. By the way, Carmelo Anthony, recent donations have basically dried up. There's a few people who are set to donate some like every day kind of thing or every 5 days. But in the last week, he's raised 130, 150, 180, 230. So he's raised about $300 in the last week. I wouldn't be giving money to anybody who hasn't done a single update since June 25th of last year. The money is gone. The true story is coming and justice will be served. I hope you were informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, subscribe or follow down below. We'll talk to you again real soon.